In this video, we'll explain how to install a single Chint meter and configure the anti-backflow feature. So you need this stuff: a single-phase combiner box with a DDSU666 meter inside, an ECU-R, and 3 breakers. One for the solar panels, one for whatever you're powering, and one for the connection to the grid. Plus, you'll need an RJ45 to 485 converter to connect the meter to the ECU-R, and a 2-wire cable. A shielded twisted pair cable for 485 is best. You gotta get that cable yourself. Next, connect the red wire to port 24 on the meter. And the black wire to port 25. Connect the other ends of these wires to the RJ45 to RS485 converter. Make sure 24 corresponds to A and 25 to B. Then, plug the converter into the RJ45 or RS485 signal port on the ECU-R. Hook up the power grid wires to the bottom input of the Chint meter. Alright, so you take the main PV wiring and connect it to the bottom terminals of the breaker that's for the solar panels. Finally, wire the load to the bottom of the controlling breaker. Plug one end of the adapter into the reserve socket in the combiner box, and the other end into the ECU-RS power port. When the grid powers on, the Chint meter's display flashes on for a few seconds. First, close the grid breaker. The ECU-RS power light will remain on. Then the PV breaker, and finally the load. This is what the final connection and wiring looks like. Alright, so now we're going to set up the ECU locally. You gotta enter the inverter's serial number, get it online, and then set up the meter. ECUs have 2 types of UID numbers, those starting with 2160 and 2162. If you need to implement the export power control function, first, please check what ECU versions are needed for the 2 starting numbers. Go to the workspace and find Meter Settings. That's where you configure the meter. For the grid side, pick the meter model. Its Modbus address is 1. Hit OK. Go back to the main screen and turn on the meter function. Then, go to Working Mode and choose Export Limitation. After tumming on the 0 export function, if the power limit value is not filled, the default is 0. Keep in mind, how much power you can actually send back depends on your local grid rules. Hit OK again. Now, just wait about 15 minutes, and the ECU-R will automatically send the meter data to APsystems. Once that's done, you can make an account and check it out on the EMA website. If you can't get to the ECU-R, we also have a remote setup. This part is exclusively for authorized installers. If you're not one of those, you'll need to get in touch with them. So, if you have the right access, log into the EMA website with your installer login. Find the user's ECU-R, you'll need their UID to search for it. Once you've found it, look for Remote Control and click on Meter Setting. Then, pick the correct ECU-R from the list. Click on Meter Configure. Choose Grid Sampling Meter, type in the meter model. And put 1 for the Modbus address. Hit Setting, and then just wait 15 to 20 minutes. The page will change, and you'll then need to select 0 Export Control mode and enter the amount of power you're allowed to send back to the grid. If you input 1, represents the upper limit of the reverse power uploaded to the grid by the ECU through the control system power generation power limit is 1 kilowatt, and the default value is 0 by default, which is the 0 export function. This last bit is super important. It has to match what your local power company allows.